This week on Granite State Challenge, it's a Lakes Region matchup as the team from Guilford High School takes on the team from Tilton School. Only one team will advance. Granite State Challenge starts now.
Major funding for the production of Granite State Challenge is provided by Unitil. Additional funding provided by Bangor Savings Bank, Safety Insurance, NEA New Hampshire, Aroma Joe's, and viewers like you. Thank you. Get ready. It's time for New Hampshire high schools to match wits in a high-stakes scholastic showdown. It's time for Granite State Challenge. Here's your host, John Cannon.
Hello, everyone, and welcome again to Granite State Challenge. We've got a great matchup of two schools new to Granite State Challenge for a very, very long time. Gonna do battle to see who makes it on to the second round. Let's introduce them to you. First up, we have the Golden Eagles from Guilford High School.
Hi, I'm Ben. I'm a senior.
I'm Clark. I'm a senior.
I'm Landon. I'm a junior.
I'm Andrew. I'm a senior.
All right, the team alternates are Katie and Ben, and the team is coached by Spanish teacher Megan Zelaya and librarian Corey Nazer, and they're the team from Guilford High School. And their opponents this week are the Rams from Tilton School.
Hi, I'm Lex. I'm a senior.
Hi, I'm Nico. I'm a junior.
Hi, I'm Jamie. I'm a junior.
Hi, I'm Sebastian. I'm a senior.
The alternate is Turner. The alternates are Turner and Nathaniel, and the team is coached by Keelan McKenzie, and that's the team from Tilton School. All right, those are our teams matching up this week, but of course, we would also like to introduce to you our beloved judge on the ANCAM, Ann Belanger. All right, teams, introductions are out of the way. Go ahead and grab those buzzers because we're going to play some Granite State Challenge. As you know, we play in 4 rounds, and in round 1, we do some 10-point toss-up questions. So, Guilford and Tilton, good luck. Here we go. Teams, how many states are there in New England? Ben of Guilford?
6.
That's right. In his work, Life of Caesar, Greek historian Plutarch wrote that Julius Caesar wrote this phrase in a letter to his friend Anamantius to tell of his quick victory at the Battle of Zela. Ben of Guilford.
Veni Vidi Vici.
That is right. Russian composer Tchaikovsky is known for his compositions for the ballets Swan Lake and The Nutcracker Suite, as well as this rousing ovation composed to celebrate Russia's defense against an invasion by the French. Lex of Tilton.
The 1812 Overture?
That is right. This swimmer, who has 12 Olympic medals, including 8 gold medals, lives in Dover, New Hampshire, which now has a public swimming pool named for her. Ben of Guilford.
Katie Ledecky.
Sorry, no. Tilton? This is Jenny Thompson from New Hampshire. Teams, who was the Greek scientist who realized that when an object is put in water, it displaces the water? Lex of Tilton?
Archimedes?
That's right. Teams, which world leader said, "Many forms of government have been tried and will be tried in this world of sin and woe. No one pretends that democracy is perfect or all-wise. Indeed, it has been said that democracy is the worst form of government except for all those other forms that have been tried from time to time." Lex of Tilton.
Stalin?
Sorry, no. Guilford? Ben?
George Washington.
Nope, it was Winston Churchill said those words. All right, teams, a study by Yale University found that these organelles are more than just the powerhouse of the cell. They also determine what undifferentiated cells in a growing embryo eventually will become. Ben of Guilford.
Mitochondria.
That is right. This band, known for its elaborate makeup and costumes and songs like Rock and Roll All Night and the ballad Beth, had an army of followers. Sebastian of Tilton.
Kiss.
That's right. All right, teams, our next question is a video question coming to you on your monitors from a friend of the show and world traveler. Take a look.
The French national anthem takes its name from volunteers who marched to Paris from this port city in southern France in the 18th century. What's the city?
Ben of Guilford.
Lyon.
Sorry, nope. Tilton? Sebastian?
Dijon.
Nope, it is Marseille. They marched from Marseille. All right, teams. Who was the first state governor to serve as U.S. president? Fun fact, it was Thomas Jefferson. This principle, which is key to flight, states that an increase in the speed of a parcel of fluid occurs simultaneously with a decrease in either the pressure or the height above a datum. It's Bernoulli's principle. Mesopotamia translates to the land between two rivers from ancient Greece. What are those two rivers? Sebastian of Tilton?
The Indus and the Tigris.
Sorry, nope. Guilford? Ben?
The Tigris and the Euphrates.
Yes, Euphrates was the other one. This workers' rights advocate became the first woman cabinet secretary in 1933 when FDR appointed her Secretary of Labor. Her name was Frances Perkins. All right, teams, go ahead and take a look at your monitors for a picture coming at you. This Portland, Maine native wrote the poems Paul Revere's Ride, The Song of Hiawatha, Evangeline, and Christmas Bells, which was the basis of the carol I Heard the Bells on Christmas Day. Ben of Guilford.
Henry David Thoreau.
Sorry, nope. The right first name, it was Henry Wadsworth Longfellow. All right, teams, 2 incumbent presidents have visited Cuba. Calvin Coolidge in 1928 and this president in 2016. Lex of Tilton.
Donald Trump.
Sorry, no. Guilford. Andrew?
Obama.
Barack Obama is right. Teams, which amendment to the U.S. Constitution guarantees a speedy trial? Ben of Guilford?
The 7th.
Sorry, no. Tilton? Sebastian?
8th.
The 6th. Other direction. All right. The pistachio is a member of the cashew family. Over 88% of pistachios are grown in the United States, Iran, and Turkey. Spell pistachio. Clark of Guilford.
Pistachio.
That's correct. This former senator from Utah was once governor of Massachusetts and a presidential candidate. Lex of Tilton?
Mitt Romney.
Yes. All right, our next question is our Unitil Power question. So it is a 20-point toss-up question, and it comes to you on your monitor. So take a look.
This author of The Grapes of Wrath and The Red Pony wrote in his 1957 work, The Short Reign of Pippin IV, a fabrication. Power does not corrupt. Fear corrupts. Perhaps the fear of a loss of power.
Ben of Guilford.
John Steinbeck.
Yes. Teams, what two numbers are neither prime nor composite? Ben of Guilford.
1 and 0.
That's right. The ominous 2-note music that was used to signal the approach of the shark in the 1975 blockbuster Jaws was composed by this man, who is also known for composing music for Star Wars, Close Encounters of the Third Kind, and Jurassic Park. Andrew of Guilford.
John Williams.
That's correct. And that sound ends round 1, and Guilford out to a bit of a lead right now by a score of 100 to 40. All right, teams, we're going to take a break in the action right now and just take a moment to get to know our players this week. And we're going to start with the team from Guilford. Guilford High School, the Golden Eagles, is in Guilford, New Hampshire. And students from Guilford and Gilmanton attend. And we're going to start down here on the end with Andrew. And Andrew is a Red Sox fan, but maybe a little bit deeper than the typical Red Sox fan. Tell us.
I memorized all the retired numbers and their names that match them.
Oh, okay. So retired numbers. So those are the numbers that are up on the top of Fenway, right? Okay. Do you have any memory of any of those players that are up there?
Mostly just Big Poppy because he was the only one that was still on the team.
You gotta love Big Poppy, right?
Yeah.
My favorite. All right, moving down the line to Landon. You know, sometimes we talk about pets with contestants on Granite State Challenge, and I guess you have animals, but would you call them pets? What do you have?
I have pigs.
So you and your family raise pigs, but they're not really for pets. What are they for?
They are for meat.
They are for food. Okay. And is everyone in the family okay with this?
Yes, some more than others, but
All right.
yeah.
Do you keep this, or do you like sell it to other folks?
Both.
Both? Okay, so if I want some fresh bacon, I know where to go.
Yes.
All right, fantastic. All right, With Landon is Clark, who is not a Red Sox fan. You're a fan of a different team that's not in the New England region.
I'm a Chicago Bears fan.
A Chicago
as big as they come.
Bears fan, as big as they come.
Yeah,
That sounds like fighting words to me. Okay, how'd you become a Bears fan?
my mom's family's from there, just born and raised around the Bears, so it's been a struggle. But
Okay, well, hey man, are things looking up?
yeah, we beat the Packers on the next season.
All right, hey, you got this. It's the wins that matter,
Yeah.
right? All right, and finally, team captain Ben. I'm a big fan of flags myself, but I can't do what you can do. You know every country's flag.
Yes, I do.
Okay, so how did that come about?
I don't really remember. I just kind of looked at a map of the world one day and decided I wanted to.
Okay.
And I just slowly learned them.
You got any favorite flags out there?
I'd probably say the Caribbean country, St. Lucia.
Okay. Well, you know what we'll do? We'll let the folks at home look up St. Lucia for themselves and see what it is that you love so much about it. Sound good? All right, and that is the team from Guilford High School. All right, moving down to the other, and we're going to get to know the team from Tilton School. Tilton School is a boarding prep school in Tilton, New Hampshire. Students from all over the world attend Tilton School, including Sebastian. And not only, I don't know where you're from, but you got to spend your summer in a really cool place in another part of the world. Tell us about it.
Well, I'm from New Jersey, but
Okay.
almost equally as foreign. I spent my summer in Peru
Okay.
doing a little bit of volunteer work as well as exploring some of the ancient constructions.
Yeah, so you get to see some ancient Incan ruins. You get to do some help with some folks that are down there. Trip you'll remember for a lifetime?
Oh, for sure.
Nice.
I plan on going back.
Excellent. Fantastic. Another world traveler here is Jamie. And where does your family currently live?
My dad's stationed at Camp Zama in Japan.
Okay, so your dad's in the military,
Yes.
currently stationed in Japan. So you've lived in, it says here, 10 different places.
Yes.
Would you rank Japan as among your favorites?
I'd say so, yeah. I mean, I lived in Hawaii before this, which is,
That's pretty
It's
nice.
Hawaii,
It's
but-
pretty nice.
I guess Japan's different from the US in ways that just make it cooler. I don't know.
All right, so when the semester ends, on a plane and off to Japan you go.
Yep.
All right, well, fly safe. All right, moving down, we've got Nico. Nico is an athlete. As a high school teacher, we usually have three sport athletes, but you are how many sports?
5.
Okay, 5 sports. They are.
Cross country, soccer, basketball, hockey, and lacrosse.
Okay, and of those 5, you have a favorite.
I do. It's definitely lacrosse.
Okay, excellent. And how's the lacrosse team looking?
It's looking great this year. We're looking to get some wins.
All right, excellent. Fantastic. Keep it up. And there's your brother, Lex, also on the team. And tell us about how this team ended up on Granite State Challenge.
Yeah, so every Tilton student is responsible for a legacy project, and it's kind of like, what are you going to leave behind at Tilton? And when I was having a conversation with the academic dean about Granite State Challenge a couple years back, she said to me, Lex, that would be a great legacy project for when you're a senior. So last spring, actually, I was starting to plan my legacy project, and I talked to my Spanish teacher at the time, Mr. McKenzie. I was like, how would you feel about being the coach of my Granite State Challenge team? And he's like, I actually did Granite State Challenge. That's perfect. So we put together the team. I asked around the school who would be interested. We got these 6, and now we're here. So we're very excited.
Well, there's nothing better than a legacy than referencing your coach who's a former Granite State Challenge player and putting the team together. Great job. We're really glad you are here. This is the team from Tilton School. All right, good to get to know you folks, but we're going to jump right into round 2. Now, you don't need your signaling devices for this round. It is our 3 strikes and you're out round. And the way this round works is each player on the team gets a question, and we go down the line one by one. We have 10 questions per team, and we keep going until all 10 questions are asked or until 3 strikes and you're out. Each team has 3 passes, so if you don't know the answer, you can pass to your team next to you. And we will start with the first alphabetical team, which is Guilford. So, Ben, this is your question. In Greek mythology, the Nemean lion had golden fur that was impervious to attack, that didn't stop this Greek hero from killing it as the first of his 12 labors.
Hercules.
Yes. Clark. In the movie The Lion King, Simba's father Mufasa is killed by a stampede of these animals.
Wildebeest?
Yes. Landon. The voice of Mufasa in The Lion King is that of James Earl Jones, who also voiced the sonorous tagline for this cable channel.
I don't know.
It is CNN. Andrew, CNN was launched as the first 24-hour news network in 1980 by Reese Schoenfeld and this media mogul who was once married to Jane Fonda.
I don't know.
This is Ted Turner. Ben, Jane Fonda starred with her father Henry Fonda in this 1981 movie that was filmed on Squam Lake in Holderness, New Hampshire.
Pass.
On
Clark?
Golden Pond?
On Golden Pond is correct. Landon, we go to you next. Actor Karen Gillan, who played Amy Pond on the BBC series Doctor Who, also played this sister of Gamora in the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. You have 3
Pass.
passes. Pass.
I'll pass.
Pass. Have no more passes?
Spock.
Spock, sorry, no, it is Nebula, and that is your 3rd strike and ends your round. All right, Tilton, same drill. We turn our attention over to you right down the line. 3 passes and 3 strikes. Lex, this is your question. The 1983 movie based on this teenage coming-of-age novel by S.E. Hinton featured Matt Dillon, Patrick Swayze, Rob Lowe, Emilio Estevez, and Tom Cruise.
The Outsiders.
Correct. Nico, Emilio Estevez, is the son of Martin Sheen, who played President Jed Bartlett in the series The West Wing. His character was the former governor of this state.
New Hampshire.
Correct. Jamie, this is the only U.S. president to have been born in New Hampshire.
Franklin Pierce.
Yes. Sebastian, Hawkeye Pierce in the TV series MASH was named for Natty Bumppo, also known as Hawkeye, from the novel The Last of the Mohicans by this author.
Kim McQuarrie.
Sorry, it's James Fenimore Cooper. Lex, back to you. Sheldon Cooper is a theoretical physicist on this popular TV series.
The Big Bang Theory.
Correct. Nico, this theoretical physicist was known for his work on quantum mechanics and for playing the bongos.
Oppenheimer.
Nas Richard Feynman. Jamie, in the 1951 movie Bedtime for Bonzo, this future politician played a psychology professor trying to teach ethics to a chimpanzee to prove that nurture trumps nature.
Pass.
Pass.
Ronald Reagan.
Correct. Nico, your question. This English primatologist spent years in the Gombe Stream National Park in Tanzania studying the behavior of chimpanzees.
Jane Goodall.
Correct. Tanzania is the home to this body of water, which is the largest freshwater lake in Africa.
Pass.
Sebastian?
Lake Titicaca.
It is Lake Victoria. And that is your 3rd strike that ends the round. All right, nice job, teams. A little tightening up there after round 2 and at round 3. I'd like to invite the alternates to join their teams up at the podiums for our 60-second round. In our 60-second round, each team gets 10 questions in a category. Each category can be chosen and you can talk with your team. So we start with the team that is trailing, and that is Tilton. And so, Lex, you can talk to your team and choose from the following 3 categories: Reach for the Stars, Bridgerton, and Take a Vowel.
Yeah.
We'll do Reach for the Stars.
Reach for the Stars. Okay, the answers to all of the following will include the word star. So again, Lex, I'll take your answer as the team answer, but you can talk to your team. 60 seconds, start the clock. These marked yellow characters in a Dr. Seuss tale felt superior to their neighbors.
Superstar.
So this is a star-bellied Sneetches. He led a ragtag group that included Groot, Gamora, and Rocket.
Star-Lord.
Yes. There seems to be one of these coffee shops on every corner.
Starbucks.
Yes. This movie is set in a galaxy far, far away.
Star Wars.
Yes. One of the science officers in this series hopes you live long and prosper.
Star Trek.
Yes. Lady Gaga starred in a remake of this movie that once starred Judy Garland.
A Star is Born.
Yes. You'll find this 7 miles off the coast of New Hampshire in the Isles of Shoals.
Star Island.
Correct. This six-pointed shape is a symbol of Judaism.
Star of David.
Yes, Texas is sometimes called this.
Lone Star State.
Yes, he was the drummer for the Beatles.
Ringo Starr.
Yes, correct. That's it. And 9 out of 10 on your 60-second round. All right, Tilton, great job. Guilford, we turn our attention to you. Ben, you and your team can select from Bridgerton or Take a Vowel.
We're going to go with take a vowel.
All right, take a vowel it is. The answers to all the following will include all 5 vowels. All right, so Ben, you can talk to your team. 60 seconds, start the clock. These large trees found in California have a national park named after them.
Sequoia.
Yes, this is what you get when you go to school.
Education.
Correct. You drive around town in one of these.
Automobile.
Yes. Authorities will call for this when there is danger.
Authority.
It is evacuation. This is a word for the payment or compensation for getting or doing a job.
Compensation.
It is remuneration. This instrument makes a jingly jangly noise according to Bob Dylan.
Harmonica.
It is tambourine. This is what you might call someone with more than $1 million.
Millionaire.
Is a multimillionaire. Something important with consequences could be called this.
Important.
It is consequential. This is what you might call something you don't object to.
I don't know.
Is unobjectionable. Someone who isn't flashy or ostentatious can be called this. Tough category. And at the end, on the end cam, 3 out of 10. All right, thank you so much, alternates. You can go ahead and take your seats as we get ready for round 4. So Tilton taking a lead after round 4, or after round 3. But going into round 4, we move to 20-point toss-up questions. Each question's worth 20 points, but we will be deducting 20 points for incorrect answers as well. So play smart and strategically, Guilford and Tilton. Good luck. Let's go. Ray Bradbury's short story, The Pedestrian, was the foundation for this novel featuring fireman Guy Montag. Lex of Tilton.
Fahrenheit 451.
Yes. This Norwegian painter's works include Anxiety, Puberty, Death in the Sick Room, and The Scream. Clark of Guilford.
Van Gogh.
Sorry, no. You may have seen one of those Edvard Munch. All right, teams, what is the common name for dihydrogen monoxide? Lex of Tilton.
Water.
That's right. The winning word in the first Scripps Spelling Bee held 100 years ago in 1925 was gladiolus, a flowering plant in the iris family, sometimes known as the sword lily. Spell gladiolus. Clark of Guilford.
GLADIOLIOULOUS.
Sorry, no. Tilton. Give it a shot. You're going to make me spell it. It's GLADIOLUS. All right, teams. This Egyptian pharaoh tried to convert Egypt from polytheism to monotheism and the worship of just one god, Aten. Ben of Guilford.
Cleopatra.
Sorry, no. Tilton. It is Akhenaten was his name. All right, the first large dinosaurs, birds and mammals, appeared 145 to 201 million years ago during this period of the Mesozoic era. Ben of Guilford.
Triassic.
Sorry, no. Tilton?
Cretaceous.
Sebastian? Say it again.
Cretaceous.
Sorry, no, it is the Jurassic. In 1845, this strong ally of Andrew Jackson became the only former Speaker of the House to become U.S. President. That was James Polk. This 5-member elected group advises the New Hampshire governor and votes on any state contract over $5,000. I think you're locking yourself out, Lex. You locked yourself out, rang it too early for the Executive Council. Sorry. In 1900, President William McKinley signed the Gold Standard Act in 1971. This president took the U.S. off the gold standard because the country's foreign exchange debt exceeded the country's gold reserves. Ben of Guilford.
Ronald Reagan.
Sorry, no. Tilton? Lex?
Richard Nixon.
That is the correct answer. A series of riots and demonstrations against a police raid at this bar in New York City in 1969 is seen by many as the beginning of the gay rights movement. Jamie of Tilton.
Stonewall Inn.
That is correct. Who killed Tybalt in Shakespeare's play Romeo and Juliet? Landon of Guilford.
Mercutio.
Sorry, no. Tilton. It was Romeo, and that sound ends the game, and with a strong come-from-behind victory, Tilton will be moving on to round 2. Congratulations, Tilton, on your first win since 1984. We'll see you in a little while when you come back for your second round game. And Guilford, as a Lakes region, born and raised in the Lakes region myself, it was good to have you here. We had fun. Congratulations. We hope you had fun as well. And for you at home, we hope you had fun as well. We hope you tune in next week when the team from Kingswood takes on the team from Portsmouth High School. That'll do it for us this week. And as I like to say, I hope you learned something, because I did as well. We'll see you next time.
Major funding for the production of Granite State Challenge is provided by Unitil. Additional funding provided by Bangor Savings Bank, Safety Insurance, NEA New Hampshire, Aroma Joe's, and viewers like you. Thank you.